Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you were watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing BAYWATCH. BAYWATCH, yeah. This is the thing that I guess Chips tried to rip off preemptively by remaking Chips. See, that was such a bad idea, I swear. But anyway. I have never seen an episode of Baywatch in the past. I do know a lot about David Hasselhoff. I watched some Knight Rider and stuff, but I understand that it's a completely different show from that. All I know about Baywatch, and I'm sure that this is what the movie is hoping for is a lot of slow motion running, not much plot, and it's just to show where you're supposed to admire everyone's hot bod. And in that case, remaking it into a shallow, terrible 2017 comedy actually makes sense. So, I'm not gonna be too mad on the is it a faithful remake scale. I literally don't know. Is Baywatch deeper than what I'm assuming here? If anyone can tell me that. But yeah, I'm not going to be too offended on the whole remake aspect. I am preemptively offended on the fact that it's probably going to be a shitty comedy. It stars The Rock. The Rock is funny in the right circumstances. And Zac Efron, and he's the one I'm really worried about. You see, I don't hate Zac Efron. He's not a Leonardo DiCaprio to me. I think he has potential. But the thing is, whenever Zac Efron receives top billing in any movie, the movie mysteriously sucks ass. And I don't... It's strange because he's not even normally the worst aspect of it. It's almost as if instead he just hones in on movie scripts that are just going to be horrible but make a lot of money, and he attaches himself to it. Which I would too. I mean, once his physique runs out, he's not going to have a job, so he may as well just save up as much money as he can get so he can buy a private island once he turns 35, That's it's a decent plan. But nonetheless, I'm going to have to sit through this garbage. It's not his fault, of course, but still. So, what am I expecting? I'm expecting a lot of lol random humor. I'm expecting inconsistent characterization for the most part. Although they might just keep it to where everyone's stupid all the time. That's nice. But that's just going to heighten the aspect of nobody's going to be a straight man. Everyone's going to be silly, which is going to lower the impact of all the jokes. I'm expecting that the writing's going to be really shitty. There's not going to be any actual jokes, just a lot of quips and maybe some callbacks, maybe. But, no actual setups, payoffs. I'm expecting that there's going to be a lot of improvisation, because nobody feels like actually sticking to a script, because fuck it, the script's so terrible. I'm expecting, and at least, 13 other problems here, major problems, which are all going to add up to the fact that, some people will still like it anyway, because it's their humor type, but it's still shitty. And I assure you, it is shitty. And that's what I'm expecting. I don't know, maybe it'll turn out to be good. Who knows? Anything is possible in this magical world. So, let's see it. Well, color me impressed. Honestly, this movie was somewhat funny, a little charming. It had consistent characters most of the time. It had people playing the straight man most of the time. And there was even, like, one joke. Like, there was one, honest to God, set up, paid off joke. Only one, but that I could notice. The rest were quips, but just one joke. You know what I feel like? I feel like a teacher of an elementary school class who is forced, and I do mean forced, to grade everything on the most ridiculous curve you have ever seen. I kind of imagine it like whenever I hand out a multiple choice test to everyone, most of the time the students just pull down their pants, take a big dump on it, and then hand it back to me. Actually, most of the time they barely even do that. They barely even hand it in. I have to go to the desk and collect it myself. And this movie, though, they did take a dump on it eventually, but before that they actually attempted to scribble something onto the page. And then when they did take a dump, they scraped it off a bit, and they turned it in. So that makes him an A+ student, I guess. Joy of joys. It was doing so good too. I mean, it had a very it has a very laid-back feel, which helps it a lot. It doesn't feel too big. It feels like it actually has a plot. It's set around a mystery and stuff, and it's not a very complex mystery. It's very obvious who's behind everything, but you know, it's set along like a crime-solving thing, and it works pretty well. It's almost structured like a movie, like very, very close. But yeah, the lax in characters is just kind of annoying, especially since it did so well at the very beginning. Everyone was staying on track, everything was working so smoothly, but towards the end it kind of fell apart. Here's a very minor example. It doesn't matter too much in the scheme of things, but you know, it's still notable. The fat guy, well, the chubby guy, who joins the team, right? During tryouts, he takes off his shirt, and we see it has a hairy chest, and he has like hairy nipples, which surprisingly they do not make any kind of quip about. Like, they don't even acknowledge it. It's showed restraint, I suppose, but you know, it was a visual gag at least. But the next time we see him with his shirt off, it's not there. He's completely waxed. And once again, no acknowledgement of that. Now, I don't even know if that really counts as like, that's not really technically a character change, random character change thing, but it's continuity error at the very least. But here's a more obvious one. Zac Efron's character. I wanted to get to him later because for most of the movie he plays a straight man. He's a person with actual problems. He's a former Olympic medalist, and he's just like off his horse. He's a drunk now and stuff. And for most of the movie he plays like the regular Joe, the guy who reacts to the silly stuff that Dwayne Johnson involves himself in, and all that stuff, and it works. But the problem is they can't help themselves. At a certain point in the movie, Dwayne Johnson has to go somewhere. He's not with the team, and Zac Efron has to be carrying things. And so all of a sudden, Zac Efron starts acting quippy, way stupider than he was established to be, and way, well, and just like a very different character than before. Now, this was later in the movie, and a character change did happen, but the character change was that he started, like, enjoying being part of a team and stuff. It has nothing to do with suddenly becoming a lot quippier and a lot stupider. The only reason they did it is because Dwayne Johnson wasn't there to do that stuff. And it's bullshit, frankly. It's complete bullshit. You can't do that. There are other comedic characters in this movie that he could have reacted off of. It doesn't work. I mean, when you think of, like, Eddie Valiant in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he stays serious most of the movie. He plays the straight man. He's the guy reacting to all the silly cartoon stuff, and that's what makes it funny. But at the very end, he starts doing some sillier things, but it's part of a character moment because he is doing it specifically to try and trick someone. And that's clever, you see. He starts playing the funny man, but only because circumstances required it. Not just because Roger Rabbit was off screen and they needed someone to make all the kids laugh. So, yeah. But, yes, I'm forced to admit, if we're just grading on the biggest shit curve of all time, yeah, this is probably the best comedy movie I've seen all year. And, if you aren't as depressed about the state of the comedy genre as I am, you'd probably enjoy it. Yeah. It's just depressing, you know. Like that this is the kind of thing I have to promote nowadays. I don't know. Just the way of the world, I suppose. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dyer Situation.